Let's do it.
Yeah.
I like that your shirt is backwards.
You like it?
Yeah.
So I can read it in the mirror.
In the mirror that we don't have in front of us.
Yeah.
I will say that what we are going to be doing today is a scissor haircut, just kind of like unkempt, but on purpose. So it looks like he's, you know, doesn't care, but he cares. When I'm working with scissors, I actually like the hair to be damp. And the reason for that is so that I can actually group the hair together so that I can section everything off the way that I like to. I reference everything that I do with how many fingers I have in front of me because it's the quickest reference that I have for like as a navigational tool. Okay, so I'm gonna break this into 3 parts. You see I pushed the hair over like this. I don't like everything to be super complicated. I like everything to be very simple. I do a lot of clients in one day, so I like everything to be as simple and quick as possible. Bottom, middle, top. The center of the cowlick is roughly what separates the middle, and the occipital separates the middle as well. I'm gonna work in the middle first, then the bottom, then the top, depending on how I feel about it today. So right now we're gonna work in the middle. So we did one side this way, and to keep things very square, obviously if we're gonna do something masculine, what I'd like to do is I'd like to immediately go to the other side and go from the front to back, just like we did on this side. This keeps everything kind of uniform and square. Once we have everything kind of trimmed down, it doesn't have to be mad even because we're not going for mad even. From this area, I'm gonna triangle down this way. This area, I'm gonna triangle down that way. So you're gonna have this like kind of lower triangle like this. This allows you to do the left side and then vice versa on the other side. Down again, about 2 fingers width and bring it back to where that just was. And when I don't drop my comb, I'm fairly quick with that. Double back up, and anything I don't like, you can go back through and just kind of point cut to separate. You don't want to clean up with a straight line. You clean up with a straight line, you'll end up with the like striation or whatever that word is. You'll end up with that in there. Now we kind of have that vertical, like triangle looking thing. This obviously a little bit heavier, so I'm gonna go back through here and clean up everything that's I missed for whatever reason. I'm like, man, I'm trying to provide information, but then sometimes I realize like, oh shit, like half of you guys are probably better than me anyways. You're just watching to see me do something cool, I guess. I like the triangle thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower this a little bit and keep a lot of that triangle thing. What I wanna do is, I don't want it to be a full-on point, so we're just gonna point cut through there. Thank you. All right, it's gonna look better if I finish this before the cut. And what I do is I go from the side and I go up one, right? And I just bring that down. That's it, just bring the top into the side. If you bring the top into the side, it's called stationary guide, you maintain your weight. If you travel away from it, you remove the weight, but you follow the head shape. You follow the head shape, you make it round. If you make him round, he's gonna complain because no one wants to be round. So kind of the way in between that is, like I said, if I travel up one comb width, bring that hair down, and I cut right where I started before, and we're gonna do the same thing, point cut, but then my next section will actually be to go, again, about a comb width. We're gonna drop that down. Obviously, it met pretty much where I cut it, so we're gonna look at it vertically. You can pretty much choose anywhere from the rounded part in the back to the rounded part in the front, and just go vertical, and you'll see this little disconnect right there. You see that? So we're gonna bring all the way to that. So I'm gonna bring my fingers out to that point, and we're just gonna cut off all the shit that's above that. And we're gonna do that all the way to the back. But I want to be vertical, so you guys still see that sticking out like that. That's what I want consistently, because he's gonna throw it this way. If I need to get rid of some of it, I'll do it later. I'm kidding, no, I don't cut myself anymore. After a while, if you cut yourself, you're not good. Okay, so now we've done the side and the top. We've connected them, but we haven't done the whole midsection here. The head rounds, but we're doing kind of square. So what's gonna happen is everything that we brought out this way to match over here is gonna get you a corner right here. This would inevitably be my guide for the top. And what I like to do is my scissors, so I'll use like a larger one, and I'll size my scissors to actually like work with what I'm doing. So I can actually take one big scissor and just cut from like section to section. So like I said, horizontal is a little bit more weighted, vertical is a little bit more texture, but the top is kind of different. The minute you kind of go from the side of the top, everything changes, goes horizontal versus vertical. So vertical sections will generate a little bit more texture, a little bit more softness. Horizontal will be a little bit more weighted. So you guys saw we took this section and we went across the top. That's gonna be a heavy section. If I roll this over my finger like this, and he says, I dig that, then what I do is when I come back over top, I know that I can cut everything on the other side here. And then I just kind of texture that and then connect it to what was previously cut in the back. We serve beer in our shop, so sometimes people are like, why do you book 45 minutes and not a half an hour? Well, just in case your client has to go take a pee break. I don't want to hardline any of this because it has to look like he's, doesn't necessarily need a haircut, but he, you know, he may or may not have just had one. So I kind of like point cut through here. I remember my first hair show. There was a guy with 2 hairsprays. He was on stage like, yeah! I'm like, man, the fuck am I doing now? So it's funny when it's wet, it has like all these inconsistencies that you're worried about, but just start drying and look at them, and then they don't really necessarily become inconsistencies. They actually become the texture that you're looking at. See that? Watch. Clients love that. It's a lot easier to teach a client how to use a comb for 3 different looks than a brush. All right, so we're gonna do 2 looks. One's gonna be like super, like everybody has a client that's like, oh, I don't do anything. It's, oh, it looks good today and it'll never look this good. So that 2 things happen from that are really cool. One, your expectations are really low. So he's probably gonna tip you a lot. And then the second one is you can easily sell this dude a product and you just say, hey, this just, and you're done. So that's kind of what we're doing. You just kind of hit this in the front and just tell him just to literally just whatever he wants. And because of the structure of the cut, we kept it kind of square. He can literally pretty much do anything and it's like gonna look okay. Should have cut them brows, bro.
Dude, you hit 50, your brows are fucking crazy.
Okay, so your second look is actually gonna use this as the base. So we actually just kind of get things to just be real gritty. And then if you've ever noticed your clients that look really good like day 2, so we're just gonna make a day 2 look out of your matte paste over that. So it's kind of like a, that's cool. They actually seal the package so it doesn't dry out before you put it on the shelf. All right, so check this out. Little bit, not a lot. And sorry, Anthony, I'm not gonna put it on my palm. I'm gonna put it on the ends of my fingers. Check this out. So we start, it's gonna be heavier on the ends of my fingers, but I kinda want it to all just disappear a little bit. But it's heavier on the fingers. Don't start in the front, we're gonna start in the back. And then, because you can always add more. So what this is gonna do is it's the same kind of look, except it's just a little bit heavier. But instead of day 2 grease, it's actually day 1, like a texture pomade. So it's like for YouTube?
Yeah, this is a YouTube video. So you don't have to say anything like that? Like
Okay.
whatever you want, like, the last 10 seconds.
Oh, cool. Sick. Thank you very much. I love to cut hair. I love to style for my clients, and I hope you learned something from this. If you didn't, or if you hated it, I also don't care. But maybe subscribe, you know, whatever it is you want to do, just have fun doing it. That's it.